All right, listen up. I've got an idea. And yes, it's similar to some of my other ideas in that it involves drawing. But look, we're going to take these pencils right here. Pencils which I've shown you before. But if you look at these more carefully, I think you'll see there's a worrying trend. There is perhaps a severe neglection of pencils down here at the bottom end. The softer pencils are not being given the attention they possibly deserve. Oh, you sweet little 8, 9, and 10B. So here's the idea. We take these super soft pencils and we draw a picture just with them. Usually these are the ones I reserve just for coming in at the end and doing some, I don't know if you call them highlights, but lowlights, right? They make the darkest, deepest blacks. But this I want to do the whole drawing just with those, all right? In the words of Leonard Cohen, you want it darker, we kill the flame. And we're going to use this, a nice big sketchbook. It's like 7 by 19 feet. Boom. Okay, this is it, folks. It's all over. No, not everything. It's not all over. I mean, I finally graduated from college. I'm 34 years old, and now I have a college degree. At least at the time of this, by the time this video posts, I think I will. I haven't seen like the final grades from the last 2 classes I took, but I think I'll get A's in the last 2 classes, and even if I don't, I'm gonna graduate, okay? It's gonna happen. Ain't no way they're stopping me now. So I'm getting a degree. My degree should be in it's like a Bachelor of Fine Arts in like sculpture and ceramics or something like that. That should be I think that's what it's called. You know, it's like, what do you do with a art degree? You know, it's not one of the most useful degrees out there. At first, when I enrolled in college, right after high school, I went to college and I was doing like electrical engineering, but I mean, I was doing okay sometimes, and then sometimes I was really depressed and not into it, and so I eventually dropped out after a year or two. I think if I had been in a better state of mind, in a better place in my life, I think I could have done well there, but I just wasn't doing well. And so I took 10 break years. Then I came back, and I eventually, after I feel like the 10 break years were important for figuring out who I am and what I want a little bit more. And more importantly, I always did kind of want to go to art school, but I couldn't justify going into debt for it. So now, thankfully, I have a little bit more disposable income and I could justify just paying for it. And thankfully, an art school like this is like an in-state school where it's about it's like $3,000 per semester, which is a lot cheaper than a lot of schools. So I don't have any debt from this college. Thankfully, I managed to pay for that. Thankfully, for people like you watching my videos. So I have to give a big shout out to all of you. Thank you for all the ongoing support throughout the years. A lot of you have been watching for years and years. And so I appreciate it. I feel like it's kind of a big thing. Let me take a minute to talk about our sponsor, Squarespace, which I use to make my own website. And I put a lot of my art on there so people can find it. Links to other websites. You can sync it up with your own different socials, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook. If you upload that stuff on your Squarespace website, it can automatically update your socials, or if you post stuff on your social media, it can automatically update your website. So it can go both ways, and then you can update your galleries. Like if you have art you want to share, you can arrange it however you want, unlike, for example, Instagram, it's just going to be a square grid all the time, which you can do if you want, but go on there, look at all the different templates they have to get you started, and then you can customize them to your heart's content, get it looking just like you want. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/PeterDraws for 10% off your first website or domain. And I don't know if I'm going to do anything in particular with the art degree, but I think I did grow. I learned a lot of things about art making, like a lot of different ways to work with 3D materials, as far as, like different ways to make sculpture, from metal casting, welding. Did a lot of ceramics. I took some drawing classes and became more comfortable with different types of drawing, and learned ways to become a lot of different ways to think about art, which was good. Learned a lot of art history, stuff like that. I think it was all in all a really good experience. I met a lot of cool people, made a lot of good connections. I really enjoyed almost every aspect of it. I mean, the only parts I didn't really enjoy were the few classes I had to take that weren't art related. Like the one class I took that I didn't get an A in was a political science class where I got a B plus. That's that little class. The only reason I don't have a 4.0 GPA, which I know doesn't really matter. It's like nobody really cares if you got a 4.0 in art school, but it's just like one of those things. It's like the little perfectionist in the back of my mind would have liked to have been able to look down the transcript and just see all A's, right? Even if a couple of them were A minuses, they still count towards a 4.0. Anyways, doesn't matter. I did it, okay? And then I recently got to participate in sort of an end of degree art show where all of the people who were graduating at the same time participated in the art show, submitted like 3 pieces. And so I had 3 sculptures there in this gallery exhibition. The school has a gallery space in downtown Greensboro, and then so for like a week or two, a bunch of my pieces were in this gallery space, and so I had 3 of my sculptures there, which was really cool to see them, because usually I had only been seeing my sculptures in the context of the workspace at school, like in the clutter of the sculpture courtyard and in the foundry space, which is very different than seeing them in the gallery space where they put like nice lighting on them and they're casting cool shadows. And I have conflicting feelings about that. Like a lot of the time art, sometimes it doesn't belong in the sterile confines of a museum with just white walls and everything. Sometimes I like it in the clutter of real life, but it is cool to see it also in a gallery because, there's certain feelings people automatically associate with a museum. Like if art is in a museum, there must be some inherent value. I mean, I don't think it completely makes sense, but it still felt cool. Okay. I got to admit it felt cool to see it there. And then when we had the reception, there was like this big event downtown where it was like tons of vendors and stuff, people walking around downtown. They shut down all these streets and stuff. And then there were all these people at the gallery. A bunch of my friends came by. My girlfriend was there. She gave me some flowers I was holding. It just felt so fun. I was talking to people, about my art and talking to other people about their art. And it was just such good vibes and a fun way to close it all out. And then the next day when I came to uninstall all the sculptures, my sculpture professor brought the big truck. We call it the art truck. It's like a box truck that the sculpture department has, and we loaded all my sculptures into it, and then we brought them to my house. So now I have a bunch of sculptures out in my front yard, just like random steel, weird-looking sculptures scattered around the front of my house. So maybe people can look at them as they're going by, walking their dog or something. I don't know. So I have like a little sculpture garden outside my house now. That's kind of fun. I don't know. In other words, I think that's about all I have. I'm just kind of looking forward to next year. I mean, a lot of people asking, if I'll do like some sort of master's degree, which I mean, maybe, I don't know. For a lot of master's degrees, you kind of have to move. I'm kind of tired of moving. I kind of like living here in Greensboro. I don't know. I'm open to it, but I at least want to take one semester off and just kind of gather myself, see if I can, replug myself into this YouTube thing. So just kind of catch my breath a little bit, see what happens. So thank you all. I appreciate all the support. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. See you. Love you. Bye. Oh yeah, subscribe. I forgot I should say that. I'm trying to get to 1 million one day. All right, goodbye.